All right, recording is now in progress, gentlemen. So you are live with Redneck Reckoning and Generations. And
Oh,
Sandy's been, although he's under the name Andrew, but he's back. And did you come up with a name besides what was it?
dumbass.
Dumbass.
What are you thinking?
Hey,
What was?
we got the recommendation, Young Buck, from one of our viewers.
Uh,
Yeah, I like that one, Young Buck.
young buck. I like dumbass.
You would.
Of course,
It's
actually that is not the way I feel about you. It's just the. I think it's going to be like people are going to say, "Damn, dumbass is cool."
terms of endearment, darling.
But young buck. Oh my God.
Guys, what is today's topic?
All right. Yep. This is Bruce Bowl with Redneck Reckoning and Young Buck Dumbass, and obviously my lovely wife.
I'm going to be going
Uh,
in and out, yes.
that she comes in and out when she has something to say, and we better listen. I better listen anyway.
And he's out of
Okay.
reach.
And well, today, obviously, these things all coincide: immigration, citizenships, illegals, and it all is one thing. It all works kind of like I don't think it doesn't work anymore. I mean, where you are in a situation right now where the people that come in here are probably at a stage where there's more destruction and chaos and problems than they solve. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you saw with like a bunch of the immigrants that came in, there was a bunch that were getting like arrested for pretty serious crimes, and then the crazy part was they were letting them right back out too, and then they just kept repeating the same crimes. You look at like instances with like Lake and Riley where she got killed by illegal immigrants. I mean, you can't have stuff like that happen in our own country when they're coming in illegally. I mean, you got to keep Americans safe.
Yeah. Why are we letting them in? Okay. One thing that's kind of cute about it is both the Democrats and the Republicans say one simple thing that they this is how they their wisdom shows. They say we need them and they need us is what they're saying is. And I got to sit there and say, yeah, because there's lots of jobs that people us I guess us huge super serious people can't do. We can't pick vegetables. We can't do this. We can't take care of cattle and stuff like that. That's a bunch of bullshit. And as far as having enough people, all right, I'm sit there and I'm gonna piss off more than a few people. But I gotta say one thing about this is we got I've been in the rental business like 30 years now, and I always have at least 10 to 15% of the people getting freebies. Or in other words, they're getting housing and they don't have to work for living almost. Okay. And I gotta say, kid, you gonna turn that off?
Sorry.
And that is not right. If you are capable of working, I'm not talking about if you have mental health problems, if you have health problems, I sit there and I say, we'll take care of you. But if you're just sitting ass, shitty ass lazy, which way too many of that 10 to 15% was, they are just lazy. I say, all right, we got to stop this craziness of taking care of you, babysitting you, feeding you. I know it sounds vicious, but I tell you what, I know a simple fact. I was a wrestler, and so are you. That sooner or later, you get hungry enough, you will do what you have to take do it. And getting a job should be one of the first things you think about doing. And that's what pisses me off a lot about what is happening. We need them and they need us. No, we need first people in our country that are capable of working should work, or if there's jobs available, they should be doing them. Otherwise, what the heck are you doing here? And we sure the heck don't need illegal aliens or people from other countries coming in here until we get our capable citizens are working. All right.
Read Sandy your quote that
Oh, here's a cute.
I'd like to know what his opinion is on that.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's go. I want to get through this one right here. What do you think about my, should I say,
Tirade.
hard ass position is? Do you have anything? What do you think about that?
On like the welfare people and stuff.
Well, the people that are capable of doing jobs. Now we're not going to say welfare. We're not going to say anything about that. The people that are capable of working
Yeah.
would rather sit on their asses and doing and having getting freebies. That's
Yeah, I
more.
mean, I'd say that's a huge problem in America now. I mean, even like the town I grew up in, it's real small, so you can kind of like see everything that's going on. And there's always these same people like sitting around town. They just sit outside and they collect that welfare check, and they just had a bunch of kids. And it was like none of them worked. They just kept reproducing, having kids, so they could get that check from the government. And that's basically what they're relying on. We actually employed a guy at our farm one time, and he was working too many hours, so he couldn't get as much welfare, so he actually ended up quitting. So instead of working for his money, he decided to quit and get the easy route from the government. And it's like, how can you even let that happen when he's obviously capable of working, where he's proven that,
And
and
there's
he just
jobs.
wants, yep, and he just wants the easy way out, getting that free paycheck. There's got to be like a better way of like a system to even qualify for like the welfare and the stuff, and like it's almost too easy to get, and people just take way too much advantage of it anymore in America.
Whether you're a citizen or not, whether you're someone here for asylum, I think that's true on all sides. But where I really have a problem is where when people come in, they don't even bother to learn the language.
Mm.
So
Oh,
we're printing things, and I know you've seen this in school because when I taught, I did too. They're printing documents in 24 plus languages. Why? Not just the printing costs, or they're providing free translators for when they go have government questions. And I'm not talking about just push one for Spanish. I'm talking about, ridiculous languages, Tongolese, I mean, it's gotten to the point where we need to make English the official language. If you want citizenship in this country, you have to express a mastery of English, even though I would like to say some of my students don't have a mastery of that, but that's a whole different topic for another podcast. But I mean, make an effort to become what we used to call the melting pot.
well, first of all, we have to sit there and say, how many people do we need in this country? How many people do we need to pick our vegetables, take care of our dairy cattle? That is, and that's one of the things we got to do is why are we letting all the people in here right now that we really don't need? Because I'm going to sit there and I'm going to harp on this one because of the lazy asses that we're giving freebies for. And that's the first thing I think we got to start thinking about is what type of, I mean, how many do we need? Do we need all these people, especially the ones that don't give a damn about America? Obviously, that's a different story. But right now, how many do we need if we crack down on, well, let's put it this way, laziness.
Well, and
That's my first.
Sandy, you like welding, don't you?
Yeah,
Okay, so when did that become a job that was beneath people? That's an art form.
yeah,
I've got a job for you, by the way, but that's a whole nother story. But
Jeez.
no, seriously, I do. But I mean, I attended a community college, and we had technical things where welding was an actual 2-year program and stuff. And the way people look down on people that work with their hands that are tradespeople to me is appalling.
yeah.
Why should it make any difference if that's what you like doing? Why should someone say, well, that's beneath you. And that's where we get these, well, Americans don't want to do those jobs. No, Americans are told they don't want to do those jobs.
Mm.
And the people I know that are welders, plumbers, carpenters from my job at the tech school got way nicer lake cabins than the guys that are philosophy, teaching public speaking. Oh, teaching psych. Yeah, those guys. Woo! They're making jack. The plumbers, the carpenters, and everybody else, they're laughing all the way to the bank because as soon as they're done teaching, guess what they do? They do their job.
Uh, well, it's almost like everyone's told they got to go get that college degree to make anything with their life, and the blue collar jobs are almost overlooked, nowadays. Where like if you go into that field, you can make a lot of money now because the demand's so high, and like so many people don't want to do that job. But I think another big reason is that they want all these immigrants to come in is to help push votes for their party. I think that's a big reason too. Like if you look at when Biden was president, I think their whole point of flooding all these immigrants in was to try and get more votes and almost like kind of rig the election. I think you could have like kind of seen that because they just let millions and millions in and they didn't care about voter ID or any of that stuff. And that was, if you look at like, so they're trying to pass, have you heard about the Save America Act? They're
Just
trying to
have
pass.
that down here in one of my Yep, that's right here.
Yep.
Very important. We'll talk about that. Go ahead, keep start it up then.
It's just crazy that there's even a fight over if you should have a valid ID or voter ID to go vote when it's like that's just common sense because you need an ID for everything. And it's like I feel like they just tried to flood all these immigrants in so that they could kind of like, rig the elections a little bit and kind of get more people on their side. I think that was kind of like more their agenda. May not even like have them come in and work. It was just they needed the more votes and I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, well, you know me. I'm not. I'm sitting there thinking. I always tell you the Republicans and the Democrats are both slimy little people. But I do have to sit there and say, yeah, there is an interesting thing about it, is because the Democrats always do seem to get a lots of immigrants coming in, and to their type of people that they wanted to vote, right? Every time they get elected, president gets elected, or a governor in the state, there's a whole bunch of probably inappropriate people coming into the country. And I mean, but what happens in the next cycle when, like, even Trump comes in there and he tells he's going to get rid of everybody. He doesn't get rid of everybody, and stuff like that. So I just, like I say, I don't have much faith in either party. But you're right. The Democrats seem to drag them in here, and the Republicans bitch about it, and that's the end of it. That's what we got. We got shit or shinola is what we're voting for. Kind of interesting though, as far as one thing I like is a quote from, now this is from the last line of the speech unveiling the Statue of Liberty on October 28th of 1886. There is room in America for brotherhood for all who will support the institutions and aid in the development of the country. But those who come to disturb our peace and dethrone our laws are aliens and enemies forever. That's kind of like that is it. I like that. Now this might be one of these AI things that's are full of crap, but I tell you what, it should have been in the speech, and it should be on the base of the Statue of Liberty, because we basically, if you don't want to be here, you don't okay. If you don't want to be American, I got my rules here on what we want. If you don't want to be an American, no, get your ass out of here. You don't want to sit there and well, okay, learn our language, learn our customs. I mean, I don't want to learn. I mean, if I wanted to learn about the Somali people and their country and how they work and things like that, I'll sit there and say, hey, Could I apply for citizenship there? Of course, I would never get it, but it's like going, that's the same thing. Why are we looking at these people that we should change and we should accommodate them when it's our country? We've been here forever. So I'm sitting there saying again, I'm going to be being the hard ass. I do not want to sit there and have people in our country that don't want to be citizens and live as we have for the last 200, 250 years. Probably, I should say, probably the last 150 years.
Yeah. I mean, you see like during like those ICE protests and stuff, like with a bunch of the immigrants and stuff, they're all holding up like their own flag from the country they're from. It's like if
Yes.
if it was so good, why'd you leave and come here? I mean,
Right.
it just blows my mind that and like you guys said about learning the language, that should be number one for anyone that comes into this country. You should have to learn our language to get citizenship. I mean, it blows my mind that they don't. Because like, how do you read road signs and stuff? That's just like a simple example.
Yeah, and they're getting all pissed off. I think in is it Minnesota or North someplace that they're sitting there and saying you have to be able to speak English to get a semi's driver's license, and people are going crazy. But you're right.
Actually, the Washington Post is having a meltdown right now. Trump cancels the license of immigrant truckers. Now, this should make some people very unhappy. About 200,000 drivers, immigrant truckers, will begin to lose their commercial driver's licenses under a Trump administration rule that takes effect today, straining the industry responsible for moving goods across the U.S., especially during the war with Iran. Now, here's the problem with that. Um, I used to drive for a living. I'd put on 250 miles a day because I did business to business work. And truckers were once what we considered the knights, Knights, the knights of the road. If crap hit the fan, you knew you could find a trucker, they'd try to help. And that was once ago in a long time ago. Because today, every time I pass a truck now, I put the pedal to the metal because I don't know what lane they're going to pick, if they're on their phone, what's going on, and how many of them actually are capable of reading the road signs. I actually watched a guy. I was driving up to our cabin, and I watched a guy go down the on ramp onto I-29. He
Wow.
came off. He came off one of the arterial highways and was coming at me down the off ramp to, and I was like, holy crap, please no, please no, please no. I'm over in the other lane, and he got all the way kind of onto the interstate before he freaking figured out what he was doing. And I was like, sweet Jesus. Now, that's not an oopsie. That's somebody that shouldn't have a license, much less that big of a rig. So when they're complaining about that, yeah, there's many great drivers, but a lot of those drivers were pushed out, especially during the Biden administration. Meanwhile, a lot of these immigrant drivers and illegal drivers who can't speak the language, can't read, were given CDL licenses without any qualifications. And they've been arrested going the wrong way down interstates and everything else, which is what this guy was going to do, by the way. And the best the Washington Post can complain about is goods are going to be more expensive. Really, that's that's the arrow in their quiver. People have died because these huge trucks mow them over.
They don't understand English.
And if you've got 200,000 licenses that can be gone tomorrow, Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah. Wow. If they gave 200,000 license to people who don't deserve them, that's insane. Well, I mean, I saw a video. It was of an illegal, and he was on the highway, and he went the. You know how there's the breaks in between the highways for like
Oh
emergency
yeah,
vehicles?
turn around. Yeah.
And he just tried to turn around in that, and he ended up killing a family because when he went to turn, they were in the other lane and they just went right under the truck. And he was a legal immigrant who came into the country and then got his license. And it's just, oh, doesn't even make sense to me.
It really doesn't. I mean, what we're letting happen, and who's responsible for it? Obviously, everybody's going to be blaming everybody else for it. That's just the way we do things. Nobody takes responsibility for our our situations or our problems. There's, but as far as like getting back to immigration again, it's kind of like the right type of people we want in the country. My great grandfather, he's John. He came over from Norway at the age of 13. He sit there and he what a month and a half on a boat that was rocked up and down 100 feet every wave and stuff like that. That's a person that you want, somebody that's committed to coming here, not committed to sit there and cause trouble in this country. And let's admit it, we have and or do fraudulent things because let's admit it, we have some real fraud in both sides of the country from the people that are coming here and the people that are here that are taking advantage or no see this taking the ability to take advantage of the money available to getting illegal or aliens here and working with them and stuff like that. Obviously, we got Minnesota. That is, a huge problem where we sit there and say, "Hey, there's money to be made here." That's the way they're looking at it. Illegal, billions of dollars. Illegal people are crushing us. And yeah, as like Kit said, we could use that for people that need it and citizens. Okay. And there are the things I really want to sit there and say, if you want to become a United States citizen, you can come here. But you still gotta, I really think, shouldn't you be, and that's what my great grandfather did. First thing he did when he came here, he learned, before he came, in Norway, he learned the language because he wanted to be here. He sit there and he wanted to become a citizen. And guess what? Unlike nowadays, they didn't take the uh, people that could not. Well, let's admit it, they couldn't take the handicapped and stuff like that. Couldn't make it through Ellis Island. They sit there and they'd send you back, which is tough, but you want the best of the people. If somebody's coming from another country, you don't want the ones the rapists and the murderers and the people not capable of doing work. You want the people that can help you. And that's what's happening here right now is we're just letting everybody in. And of course you're right about the voting. And that might be a major and problem because guess what? We want idiots to vote. And that's and we'll get to that through the Save America Act too. But anything else you got there?
Nope.
Nope. All right. And now let's get back. Getting back to Save America. You know, I mean, it's for one thing, I always hate names of these of all our bills and us as Republicans are probably the worst about we have to name cute little names, Save America Act. I mean, it's like going that I don't know why that pisses me off, but I just sit there and say, hey, if you you know it obviously every American should sit there and say, well, yeah, you should have ID. You should be able to sit there and say, oh, I am a citizen. I am eligible to vote. But I'm going to say one thing, and people hate this. I'm kind of the favor of almost testing people nowadays.
Oh yeah,
Are you
you're not going to
smart?
get popular
I
votes
know,
on
but
that.
no, but I mean, seriously, shouldn't you sit there? Do you really want every damn idiot to vote for presidents and stuff like that? Do you really want that to happen? And that's it's like going, dang. And actually, I'll be honest with you, I apply that to myself. If I don't know who I'm voting for, I don't vote for him. I'll sit there and I put, yeah, hell, Kit's name 7, 8 times in the last ballot I put in, because I sit there and I say, hey, I don't know enough about this person to support either one of them. And the Democrat and Republican Party, writing that shit down is long gone, because I mean I sit there and I'm not going to vote for the lesser of two evils ever again. But that's just the way I feel, you know.
I need to ask you a question. I used to ask this in my class, and
Uh-oh.
I don't expect you to know this because you're male, but
Oh, whoa.
no, that's not sexist here. I used to ask my kids, because this was a little bit ago, who can name for me all the Kardashians? And they would name. I know. I'm looking at you, sweetheart. Thank you
No.
thank you for not
Thanks
being
for not
able.
knowing. No.
Yes, thank you for that. But and everybody'd start naming off names to me, and I'd go, "Gosh, you guys are good." And then I go, "Now, name me the Supreme Court justices."
Uh,
Sweetheart, can you?
Uh,
no.
Okay,
Nope.
now let me ask you this question. Who has more impact on your life?
Supreme Court.
Thank you, darling. I love you.
yeah. That's a good point, and that's why I say, if you don't know, don't vote. If you don't know how this person stands and what he stands for, and if he's not just, and so many times they're just full of shit, so it's really hard to say. But I mean, that's what I like to say, and that's Save America Act. Yes, do we want it? Yeah, I do want it, but I just sit there and say there's some things that are just tough, and we got to go through it.
Yeah. I mean, just I don't understand why people are voting against. I mean, I do and I don't because I mean, ID, you should have to have that. And you say like some people they should have to take a test, but then that's
I
you
know.
kind of get into a sketchy zone there where they could like
Yes.
stop people from voting, you know. But
Yes.
I mean, ID, you should have to have that, and I mean, I hope this passes in the Senate because I mean, it really needs to. I mean, this is a big bill that we really need to pass, and they're gonna try and really get rid of the mail-in ballots a lot too, which I think we saw in the 2020 election that it was a pretty big problem with that, the mail-ins, and they kind of found some fraud with dead people voting and stuff, and it's just. I mean, you should have to show up, show your ID, and vote. Should be the only way it works. I mean, that's how you crack down on the fraud. That's how you crack down on illegals voting and stuff like that.
Yep. Yes. And you look at the, well, right now, of course, Trump's causing trouble in Fulton County in Georgia, basically Atlanta, Georgia, where the judges are saying that they can't uh, do anything about the ballots because they took the ballots back, or confiscated the ballots from the 2020 election, which was probably as fraudulent as it gets, especially when you sit there and you got these people that are fighting so damn hard not to show the ballots. Why the heck would, if they're honest, why wouldn't you just give them away?
Yep.
There's something else too. In Minnesota, it's a minimum of 8. It might be more, but the last time I looked at the statistics, one person could vouch for 8
Oh
people
yes.
without any ID and say, "Yeah, they're good. They're American citizens. They're my neighbors. They can vote."
Wow.
Minnesota. Yep, that's 8. I remember that 8.
8.
It's
So
a
you could walk in with 8 folks and say, "Yep, these people are good. Give them a ballot. Let them vote."
This is outrageous, and it's as bad as in other states, but
And
That's insane. Wow. I didn't even know that.
yep,
yep. Vouching for people. That's all you got to do.
in North Dakota, all if you need do it with a gas bill, a utility bill to prove that you have residence. How many college students, Sandy? You're not from here. I'll bet one of your roommates' names may be on an energy bill.
Yep.
That would mean they could vote in North Dakota and go back home and vote.
Wow.
There's there's got to be some, like I say, there's got to be some things change. Anything else you want to put on about this little show of we are a bunch of racists and stuff like that.
No,
So
no,
I'm
I know
joking,
that I know
kid.
you are, but what I'm saying
Jesus
is you're right.
Christ.
You're right. That's what they're going to call us.
Yes.
They're hence at redneck reckoning, but that's what they're going to call us. But why is it racist? Why is it a whole bunch of other isms to want the taxes that you pay to go to fellow citizens that need the help that currently are not getting them? Look at Minnesota. How many autistic citizen kids did not get help because of Somali fraud? How many people are not getting housing support that are American citizens who have paid taxes forever because we're busy housing illegals? How many students are getting free rides at colleges? And you've got to pay, Sandy.
Uh,
I'm just saying, it's I believe in helping my fellow man, but I also believe in the fact that they got to participate. They got to do more than sit there and go, "Yeah, I'll take that." Hell yeah, it's free. In New York, they were living in four-star hotels, getting 3 square meals a day catered in, and there's people sleeping out in New York on the grids under cardboard boxes. Now you tell me how that's right, because I can't justify it, kid. I just can't.
it's like they almost think of like what's the most common sense response, and then they just do like the complete opposite. It honestly blows my mind. Uh Another thing I wanted to talk about was like the Democrats fighting against like ICE and like having them come
Oh,
in and get rid of the illegals in their cities and stuff.
yeah.
Especially like all the sanctuary cities that they got set. It was like so during what people don't like to talk about either is during the Obama administration, he deported more illegals than Trump has at all this whole administration. And people like to forget about that. And what what worked with Obama was that everyone helped with them and helped get rid of the illegals. But what was going on with Trump is they're trying to bring in ICE and get rid of these illegals, and the Democrats are trying to fight them. They're like, no, you can't come into my city. Like, we're gonna protect these people, and it's like if someone's an illegal immigrant in our country, they should be gone. You shouldn't be sitting there trying to protect them. I mean, they're not an American citizen. They don't have a right to be here. And that's what I just think that whole situation was not right. Like that those people should be voted out. Everyone who tried to fight against that, that's just a huge problem. I mean, it just
Well,
doesn't even make sense.
let me give
No.
you this little fact. An illegal immigrant accused of groping girls at Virginia High School County allegedly protected him from ICE. He's up now on 18 cases of assault and battery, but the parents are livid because it took months for anyone to do anything. And they said that it just involved him pinching them. No, the mother said, although the school told parents the charges involved being touched on the buttocks, parents said the groping was worse than that. There's a group of 12 individuals that have reported this assault. He sneakily walked up behind them and put his hand in between their legs. It was not a smack on the butt or a grab, it was a groping of a private area, and it had been occurring for several months. This was an 18-year-old illegal alien in a high school as a student, and nobody did a thing. Now, at 18, I hate to say this about my gender. Most girls aren't going to do a lot but go, ew, and try to back away. He had been on the floor, um, looking up at me, begging for forgiveness had that occurred to me, even at 18. But I'm completely different from the average female. And the fact that these young girls were allowed to be assaulted on a daily basis by this individual and nothing is done, and then when ICE shows up, he's protected. That's the problem. That's what we got going on here. And if they were charging them and moving them on, fine. But they're taking the worst of the worst and they're protecting them. And there's a reason behind that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many cases of just similar instances like that too, and that's just a huge problem. Like there's illegals getting arrested and then they're released, and then they just keep getting arrested again. It's like it's just disgusting to think that they'd let the people back out after they do something like that, and it just doesn't even make sense.
If you've been arrested over 50 times, it might be a sign.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly like there's no common sense anymore with any like the whole immigration thing. It's there's no common sense. They just think like, oh yeah, these people have a right to come into our country. I mean, I'm all for like if you want to come here and better your life and better your family.
Yes.
Like do it the right way. Like Bruce's what you said your grandpa,
Great
like how
grandpa.
yeah, like do it the right way. Do it like that. Come over and I'm sure he was proud to be American then and he wanted to do good for this country. It's like you got to do the right things to be here. It's you can't be doing that stuff.
Gotta agree. Gotta agree. That was good wisdom there. Anything else you thinking about then, young buck?
Nope, that's everything I wanted to talk about.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about crap again, and our next thing is kind of the same vein is education because I mean our immigration and our citizenships have gone to crap, and our education is and you this is what I like because we are like two generations apart, and we probably pretty much see lots of things the same way. Education might be an interesting one. How do you think about education in America now, and what do me and Kit think about it? Could be interesting. So anyway, we will be back soon. Anything else there, Sandy?
We just need to bring common sense back to America. That's
Good luck on
Absolutely.
that one. I don't know. Is it dead? Is it dead?
Sandy, you're a start. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Doing these shows has given me hope because as a 70-year-old broad, I'm quite frankly oftentimes looking at the youngsters out there going, why do I even try? But bless you, my son.
bless you guys. I
Okay.
appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, man.
Here,
Yes,
sweetheart.
sir.
All
Take it
right.
easy.
Done. Are we off?